Welcome to this serene winter journey, where the soft blanket of snow meets the silent forests, and the pale light of the sun dances across frozen fields. As we drift over this vast landscape, imagine the stillness that blankets the world in cold months. A silence broken only by the whisper of the wind through bare branches. This scene, familiar in countries across northern Europe, Russia, Canada, and the northern United States, represents the quiet beauty of climates where winter reigns. Supreme look closely at the forests stretching endlessly below. The birch and pine trees dusted with snow create a mosaic of white and brown, a testament to resilience in harsh winters. In Scandinavia, from Norway to Sweden and Finland, these forests thrive, despite sub-zero temperatures, sheltering wildlife from the biting cold. Across Siberian Russia, these vast taiga landscapes stretch for thousands of kilometers, home to foxes, hares, and elusive lynxes. The snow, while harsh, is a lifeline, preserving the earth and preparing it for spring. Notice the frozen streams and rivers cutting across open fields in Canada's northern territories. Rivers freeze for months, turning into natural highways for wildlife and even humans. The reflection of winter light on frozen water creates a mirror-like surface where skies and earth merge. In parts of Alaska, the snow forms natural sculptures, and during sunrise, the ice glows with soft shades of gold and pink. The quiet here allows one to reflect, meditate, and simply be present across these regions. Humans adapt gracefully to winter's demands. In Russia and Scandinavia, communities have thrived in cold conditions for centuries, building wooden homes, skating on frozen lakes, and trekking through snowy forests. Canada's winter festivals celebrate the season, turning ice into art and snow into playgrounds. Here, winter is not just a season, it is a lifestyle, a challenge and a celebration of survival and harmony with nature. Watch the subtle signs of life in the snow. A fox's paw prints, a deer quietly grazing, or birds fluttering against the frosty backdrop. In northern Europe, owls and small mammals navigate the snowy forest. Lynxes, wolverines, and hares have adapted to the snow with remarkable precision. Their fur changes with the seasons, blending seamlessly with white surroundings in North America. Snowshoe hares and Arctic foxes display similar adaptations, demonstrating nature's ingenuity in the face of harsh winters. The snow itself preserves life beneath its insulating layer. Plants lie dormant, protected from frost. Insects retreat into the bark of trees or underground, waiting for the warmth of spring. Winter is not the end, it is a period of rest, reflection, and preparation, ensuring that when the sun returns, life flourishes anew. As our journey draws to a close, take a moment to reflect on the quiet majesty of winter landscapes. From the endless taiga of Siberia to Canada's frozen plains, from Norway's snow-laden forests to Alaska's icy rivers, winter is a season that reminds us of life's resilience and adaptability. In these serene vistas, one can find peace, reflection, and an appreciation for the subtle rhythms of nature. Winter may be harsh, yet it is beautiful, a silent teacher of patience and endurance. The frozen world invites us to slow down, to notice the delicate details often overlooked in warmer seasons. The way sunlight sparkles on ice, the pattern of frost on leaves, the soft imprint of animal tracks in snow. Let this imagery linger in your mind. A meditation on the beauty and stillness of winter, as the snow melts and life awakens in spring. Remember the quiet power that shapes the world in winterer, season that connects us to the earth, to wildlife, and to the enduring cycle of life. Itself, the landscape stretches outward in quiet layers, as though the earth itself has chosen silence. Snow rests gently on open fields and dense forests alike, softening every edge, blurring every boundary. Roads cut through the white expanse like thin veins, carrying the occasional vehicle that moves slowly, respectfully, as if aware it is only a guest here. From above, this is a world shaped by cold and patience. Winter has a way of simplifying everything. Colors fade into a restrained palette white, grey, deep green, and the distant blue of shadow. Yet within this simplicity lies immense complexity. Beneath the snow-covered ground, life continues its slow, determined rhythm. Roots wait. Rivers flow quietly under ice. Forests breathe in long, measured intervals. This kind of winter is not sudden, it arrives gradually, announced first by sharp mornings, then by frost clinging to leaves, and finally by snow that stays. When it settles in fully, it transforms familiar land into something almost otherworldly. Scenes like this unfold across the northern hemisphere every year in Finland. The fields of Lapland disappear beneath snow for months at a time. Roads wind through pine forests near Rovaniemi, where daylight shrinks to a pale glow and the horizon seems permanently dusted with silver. Here, winter is not an interruption, it is a season of identity. Across the border in Sweden, rural landscapes near Yumi and Kiruna share the same quiet strength. Snow blankets farmland and forests, and highways stretch endlessly through frozen terrain. Vehicles move carefully, tires humming against ice, leaving brief marks that vanish with the next snowfall in Norway, particularly in the northern regions of Nordland and around Tromsk. Winter landscapes balance between harshness and beauty. Snow-covered valleys descend toward frozen rivers, while roads cling to the land, curving around forests and hills shaped by ancient ice. Further east, the scale expands in Russia. Vast regions of Siberia experience winters that test the limits of endurance. Near cities like Yakutsk, temperatures fall to extremes few places on Earth can match. Yet, even hairy roads remain open. Communities persist, and life adapts to the cold with remarkable resilience across the Atlantic. Similar scenes appear in Canada. In Alberta, snow-covered plains stretch beyond the horizon. Near Edmonton and rural Saskatchewan, fields lie dormant beneath thick layers of snow, waiting for a spring that feels impossibly distant. In Quebec, forests near Saguenay and Mont-Tremblant turn into quiet corridors of white, where roads thread through trees heavy with frost. In the United States, northern states echo this visual language. Alaska presents some of the most dramatic winter terrain: endless forests, frozen rivers and highways cutting through isolation. In Minnesota and Montana, snow transforms farmland and forests into serene, expansive scenes where the horizon feels both close and unreachable. What connects all these places is not just cold but stillness. Snow absorbs sound. It quiets the world. Wind becomes a whisper. Movement slows. Even time feels altered, stretched thin by long nights and muted days. Human activity adjusts accordingly. People rise later, move slower, and plan carefully. Winter demands attention from the air. The presence of humanity appears subtle, a single road, a cluster of buildings, tracks left behind by a passing car. These small signs of life stand in contrast to the vastness of the surrounding land, reminding us how fragile and yet how persistent human existence truly is. In Switzerland, winter scenes in the alpine regions near Valais offer a different texture. Snow settles on valleys framed by mountains, and villages quietly beneath peaks carved by centuries of ice. Roads here feel like lifelines, connecting isolated communities through terrain, shaped by elevation and weather. In Germany's Bavaria, forests and open countryside near Garmisch and Berchtesgaden adopt a softer winter character. Snowfall transforms farmland into open, white canvases, while roads wind gently between hills and villages, carrying daily life through the season. Eastern Europe shares this atmosphere as well. In Poland, Estonia, and Latvia, winter covers forests, fields, and rural roads in a familiar stillness. The landscape shifts into muted tones, with long stretches of road bordered by frost-heavy, trees and open land resting beneath snow. This is winter not as spectacle. It is not dramatic storms or blinding blizzards that define these scenes. It is the quiet accumulation, the patience of snow falling night after night, the way roads remain, dependable and narrow, cutting through frozen terrain for those who live in these regions. Winter teaches endurance. It teaches preparation. It teaches respect for nature's rhythms. Heating systems hum steadily. Vehicles are equipped for ice. Daily routines adapt to shorter days and longer nights. The way forests stand unchanged, holding their form beneath the weight of cold. For those who live in these regions, winter teaches endurance. It teaches preparation. It teaches respect for nature's rhythms. Heating systems steadily. Vehicles are equipped for ice. Daily routines adapt to shorter days and longer nights. Yet there is beauty here, subtle and profound. From above, the geometry of fields becomes clearer under snow. Forests reveal their patterns. Rivers trace faint lines beneath ice. Roads draw stories across the land, telling of connection, movement, and survival. This is the season when landscapes breathe differently. As the camera glides forward, the road continues, disappearing into trees and re-emerging into open land. Each curve leads somewhere unseen. Each stretch of snow-covered ground holds memories of warmer days and promises of seasons yet to come. Winter does not erase life. It pauses it. It preserves it, and in its silence, it reminds us how vast the world truly is. Thank you for being part of the journey, and give me your thoughts in the comment section below.